Very recently we had the reveal of the Batman Return to Arkham Remaster Collection, which of course had Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and of course all the DLC included. Now of course it was supposed to come out at the end of this month, the 31st of July to be exact, but it was delayed indefinitely shortly after being announced. And now according to multiple sources, the game is being held back until at least November. Now do keep in mind of course that this is from inside sources, it's by no means official. Warner Brothers have not provided a replacement release date or anything like that, but these sources are claiming November at the earliest. Now you might have seen the report floating around last week that suggested a launch in September, but this basically is being sort of speculated as an earlier, more optimistic estimate given to retailers that has since been superseded. And now November is being targeted, but even this release window may fall through, in which of course we will see an early 2017 release. Now, you might be wondering, why such a hefty delay? It's supposed to come out at the end of July. Could it come out November this year, or could it come out not this year at all from the sounds of things? Basically, according to these same sources, the reason for the postponement is basically around the quality of the port from the developer Virtuous Games, with the frame rate marked as a major issue. Now, given the previous history of Batman Arkham Knight, I don't think Warner Brothers want another frame rate disaster on their hands, especially if it's also translating over to consoles well, because there's no mention of the version they're having frame rate problems on, it's just in general. I'm sure if console was fine but PC wasn't, they would just delay the PC version, but there's no mention of that. Of course, this is all unofficial, so let's not take this as gospel just yet, but still, assuming this is true, this is seeming like frame rate issues across the board, and they can't really have another disaster like that because, you know, the Batman IP, as great as it is, took a bit of a hit with the rather horrendous launch of Arkham Knight. Now, several people have checked in with Warner Brothers to see if they have an updated statement perhaps, or more information, or confirm or denial of this particular rumour, but sadly their statement remains the same as when the delay was announced. And in case you missed it, quote, "After reviewing the progress of the project, the team at WB Games has decided to delay the release of Batman Return to Arkham to give the team at Virtuous Games additional time to deliver a polished Batman Arkham game experience. We do not yet have a release date, and will be sure to communicate that once we are sure the game will be ready. We know this is disappointing news, but we feel the extra time will allow the team to create the best gaming experience for our fans." So yeah, they definitely need to be careful on this. Taking the extra time to make sure the port is actually good is definitely something they need to keep in mind, because as I said, they've got a bit of history of bad ports thanks to Arkham Knight, and I don't think they can really handle another PR disaster like that, especially surrounding Batman in particular. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be looking at a hefty delay. Even if it comes out in November, that's pretty significant from the July release, and it's looking like even that may not be 100%, considering it hasn't come from the mouth of the developer. And the fact that they don't even want to say when there's a release date yet, it confirms that it's very up in the air as to when this will actually come out. So while we should wait for an official statement from Warner Brothers, things aren't looking too rosy for the Batman Arkham collection. Bit of a shame, as despite the problems on Arkham Knight on PC, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are fantastic, and Arkham Knight isn't exactly bad. It just was plagued with issues on PC, and the Batmobile wasn't too great, but mainly the issues on PC that kind of soured it for many people, especially given the legacy of this particular franchise. But still, I will update you as soon as more information becomes available. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.